All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you today. And the theme of today is the fact that there is more volume than ever. More people are getting more and more bullish on Bitcoin. I think the phase is starting to turn around a little bit. More and more institutions talking about Bitcoin, more and more people talking about it, volume up, people's wild price predictions once again, and CME Bitcoin futures volume is soaring again amid the buoyant price. Now, CME futures, CBOE, etc., were kind of the ones that probably potentially destroyed the price of Bitcoin from the start, as it did encourage a lot of shorting at the all-time high. Yet at the same time, it was probably way too hyperbolic of an increase, and it was going to go down at some point anyway, so it was probably a good time to short. But either way, CME futures rags to riches in 2 weeks. After Bitcoin price rose to 4,000 within 24 hours, CME saw a daily all-time high of over 18,000 contracts trading on February 19th. And with the price rising as well, all of those BitMEX margin traders got absolutely wiped out, as all the TA said that it was going to continue going down. That's sort of what you get for following random people that think they know TA. The data confirmed the correlation between futures activity and price, with Bitcoin since halting its advance to hover around 3970. The activity bucks a trend which had dogged futures providers as recently as 2 weeks ago, as Bitcoin has reported both CME and CBOE saw record low volume since their offerings first launched in December 2017. So you can see it just going all the way down and starting to come back up. So Bitcoin definitely needs government involvement. CME success is timely for Bitcoin commentators. Earlier this month, the company's CEO, Terry Duffy, told that the cryptocurrency would depend on regulatory compliance. I'm not quite sure. I was a big believer that we needed to go forward and list Bitcoin in some way, shape, or form, but also understanding that this is a brand new asset class. He told the network when asked about what the future had in store and whether the price had hit a bottom. The bottom line is that until government really starts to accept cryptocurrencies, it's going to be very difficult for the major commercials to come in here and get gung-ho on Bitcoin or any of the other cryptocurrency. So that's interesting. The government still doesn't really accept Bitcoin. The federal government, anything like that, still doesn't actually accept Bitcoin. Now, Ohio started accepting Bitcoin and crypto for business taxes and expenses, things like that. However, they don't actually accept cryptocurrency. What happens is that they give cryptocurrency to the state turns it into cryptocurrency, and then, or well, rather, from cryptocurrency to fiat, and then pays the government that way. So, until the government actually starts making a lot of regulations and things like that, institutions don't like to get into that because it could turn around on them at any minute. And when you're dealing with billions of dollars, you just can't risk that sort of thing. So the baby might be in the background as well. Don't worry about that. He's having a blast. John McAfee gives a hard date for $1 million in Bitcoin. So apparently he was supposed to eat his own manhood. I don't know, at some point, whatever it was, I kind of stopped paying attention. But hey, bullish news. Why not? I see Bitcoin at $1 million someday. I've actually blogged about this a little bit. Now, I'm not really entirely sure why everybody follows John McAfee and everything that he says in terms of crypto, because he's not really a developer or honestly really into crypto that much. He just gets paid a lot to tweet it. So I'm still not sure why people even particularly care. But people do. His prediction may, however, partly be based on a preference for round numbers. He explained that he liked the figure because then a Satoshi would be equal to 1 U.S. penny. He also noted that 20 trillion liquidity of the network, this meant would massively change the global financial services landscape. It sure would. So people are waking up to the fact that Bitcoin will be $1 million. But when? Someday, maybe 5 years, within a decade. I'm the only one that's going to give you a hard date. December 31st, 2020. Very specific, John McAfee. However, it's the truth, though. If Bitcoin was $1 million, then the Satoshi itself would be 1 penny. Every 1 Satoshi would be 1 penny. And I believe it, like $100 million, the Satoshi would be $1. So this would mean that there would be like a lot of trillions in terms of the market cap, but it could be essentially possible. I do like the idea that 1 Satoshi would be 1 penny. Of course, that would mean that Bitcoin would be $1 million each, which would be amazing for everybody. But it kind of makes a lot of sense. And that way, things that are $1, you could just give 100 Satoshi, and it would kind of give a lot more validity to the individual Satoshi and, like actual businesses accepting it for their products and things like that. Because right now it's just a little wacky and volatile, and it doesn't really quite equal to the actual fiat that we use today. So moving on here, another $1 million prediction from the IBM's VP of blockchain. He says it's going to be $1 million someday. So based on the details of the interview, Lund was asked when he expects Bitcoin price to be on New Year's Eve. The VP said he sees Bitcoin trading higher than it is now and around 5,000. However, in the long run, he expects the virtual asset to hit $1 million. In his own words, I see Bitcoin at $1 million someday. Lund further stated that he likes the number that he's predicted because if Bitcoin reaches $1 million, then again, the Satoshi would be the value of a penny. Everybody seems to like that now. At that value, there would be over 20 million in liquidity, and he added that such liquidity could change corporate payments as well as high value payments. Really, really similar to John McAfee. Did John McAfee read this article and then just basically say it? That's kind of weird. Aside from predicting Bitcoin's price in the near future, Lund looked at the blockchain worldwide. The latter is the cross-border payment used by IBM, which takes advantage of Stellar's native token, XLM, to facilitate payments. So it could be Ripple, it could be XRP, even it could be Bitcoin, but it would also probably include other instruments like stablecoins and eventually soon, hopefully, central bank-issued digital currencies. No. Let's all say hard no to that. No. There should be riots about that. No. Because they're not going to share the ledger. That would be crazy. They can't share the ledger because they do horribly illegal and terrible things without being able to be audited. And no, they're not going to share the ledger, so it's just going to be a hidden one, so it's just going to be centralized anyway, and there's not going to be a point. It's going to be right back to the same thing. No, sir. No. Moving on. So Reddit co-founder says crypto winter erased speculators and gave space to real builders. So when he asked if he's still a big believer in crypto, Ohanian acknowledged that the current state of the market is undoubtedly still considered to be a crypto winter, which means crypto prices are depressed. However, citing Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, Ohanian emphasized that the bear market has contributed to the elimination of speculators, which is kind of true, while true crypto believers have stayed to build real crypto infrastructure. Ohanian elaborated that his opinion, the extinction of the hype around the crypto blockchain space, is actually a good thing for the industry development. He says now it still seems it's still to be seen, but what a strong signal to me is that some of the smartest people I know in tech are working on solving these problems. They're building companies that are built on blockchain. The hype is gone, the fervor is gone, but I think that's a good thing. And I see that as well. There's a little less frauds, and I have to kind of go when I say that because it's just a marginally less fraud going on. The ICO craze kind of just fell apart, which is probably a good thing. I didn't really hate ICOs, but it's just most of them definitely abused that sort of system in the way that a lot of people abuse like GoFundMe, donations, and things like that. It was just more abused. It actually has a lot of good use cases, but again, the ICO market was just more so abused than it was actually used for good. And, with most people gone, you can tell that there's a lot of speculators gone now, and that people are a little bit more intelligent about how things are going in trading. One example is that, when there's a big pump, you can tell that people sort of shave off the top and take it right back down. And instead of just continuously buying in as it's going up, people are getting a little bit smarter when it comes to trading crypto, because there was a lot of amateurs that got into crypto, and it was crypto that brought them into trading in the first place. And without crypto, they probably would never have gotten into trading stocks or anything like that. And so you could see that people are getting smarter when they realize that, hey, people are going to start taking off the top here. I better do that first. And then that's why you kind of see the volatility being taken out just a little bit as time goes on. People are just getting smarter about their trades. Instead of buying in at 16,000 and then, every time there's a dip, people typically learn, that they should have sort of taken off the top. But hodling, yeah, a good thing, though. Roger Ver, again, has defended Bitcoin Cash talking about he thinks that Litecoin hijacked the Bitcoin economic model. Oh, Roger Ver. So he's defending Bitcoin Cash again, outlines the coin's future, saying in a recent interview that Bitcoin Cash faces multiple challenges, including scaling and competition from Bitcoin SV and other assets. No, there's no competition. Nobody's using Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin SV. You can look at how the volume of Bitcoin Cash and SV per day, and nobody's using it. Again, don't mind all the noise in the background. It's okay. The Litecoin project has started a semi-friendly competition with Bitcoin Cash, tracked by the flapping website. For this reason, Veer, one of the most vocal Bitcoin proponents, Bitcoin Cash, was also somewhat critical of Litecoin. He suggested the Litecoin network hijacked Bitcoin's original idea by allowing a larger block size. Or they're just doing their own thing, one of the two. You know what I'm saying? But credit to Charlie Lee, the creator of Litecoin, for being a really, really effective marketer by saying, hey, we need to limit the Bitcoin block size, but if the blocks ever become full on Litecoin, we'll just increase the block size on Litecoin. Basically, Charlie told the Bitcoin community that they should change their working economic formula, and Litecoin should keep the same working economic formula that made Bitcoin successful to begin with. Well, Charlie Lee can do whatever he wants with Litecoin. He's the creator of Litecoin. He was sort of, I think he was on the development team of Bitcoin for a while, or was it Coinbase? Something like that. Either way, Litecoin is his own coin. He can do what he wants with it. It doesn't matter. He can say whatever about Bitcoin and still do whatever he wants with his coin. So I think that the argument that I would make today is that we don't know what the correct block size is. No, you don't. Nobody knows what the correct block size is, and so the market participants as a whole should be what determines the block size, Vera said. So bash and Litecoin. But here's the thing: nobody's using Bitcoin Cash and nobody's using Bitcoin SV. You can see it in the volume. Nobody's using it for actual transactions. Maybe they're trading it, but that's the major part of the volume. Nobody's actually using transactions of what it's supposed to be used for. So again, Litecoin can do whatever they want. Charlie Lee can do whatever he wants with Litecoin. If he wants to increase the block size or not, it doesn't matter. So moving on here, we'll have to move this on a little quick because my boy is getting louder by the second. Market cap of $134 billion, $3,900 Bitcoin. So good news today is that we are back up to $135 billion market cap. So everything's in the green today, looking pretty good, and we may getting closer and closer to that bull market. But hey, guys, I gotta go. We gotta cut this one off short. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and as usual, I will see you guys next time.